Hello and welcome to FM Enhancements, the series that scours the Football Manager content creator community to bring you the very best in tips and tricks, modified databases, custom competitions, instructional blogs and videos, tactics, training schedules and anything else we can find to enhance your Football Manager gaming experience. Before we get started, if I could please ask you to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. That way you'll get notified every time we upload a new episode so you never miss out. Also, if you happen to be familiar with any of the content featured or indeed have an opinion about any of it, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Perhaps even give us a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it as it will help me, the show and the channel a great deal. Finally, if you or anyone that you know has an unbeatable tactic or incredible custom competition that you'd like to see featured on the show, please check out below for full instructions on how to submit it to us, along with all of the details for where you can find the featured content. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is a modified database, and this one is the full Scottish League Pyramid. It's done by a chap called Mozza, who you've probably already heard of. And just in case you haven't, he's the BSC Glasgow Football Club ambassador. I had to write these down, there's so many. He's the Route 1 GG founder, which is a content creator hub for Football Manager, PES, FIFA, that sort of thing. He's also the co-host of the Lowland League Catch-Up podcast, and he's a Football Manager researcher. And when he's not doing any of those things, he's also a streamer and makes modified databases. This is actually his 6th year of doing this, and obviously it was up to date for the start of the season in 2019, so all of the teams are where they should be. But if we actually, I've started up a little game here with a club called Saltcoats Victoria, and they are in the Scottish Junior FA West Region League 2, which is kind of as low as you can get, I guess. But if we go down from there and have a look, obviously the Scottish Cup's in there and is modified to work as it should with all of these extra teams. But you got the Betfred Cup, the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Challenge Cup, the Scottish Junior Cup, the Pat Munro North of Scotland Cup, the South Challenge Cup, the Highland League Cup, Lowland League Cup, Aberdeen. Anyway, as you can see, there's just an absolute ton of competitions, obviously all set up to be and work the way they should in the right places. But if we go back up and look at the leagues, obviously we were down in League 2 of SJFA. This is League 1. You've also got, where are we? Whoops. North Region, 2nd Division, East Region, West Region, North Region, Super League, West Region Premiership. I mean, again, it's all of it. So it's absolutely fantastic. He's gone to a lot of effort. There's a lot of work that he's put into it, and it's absolutely brilliant. What we're going to do, we are going to feature this database. I'm just going to play the Saltcoat Vics against the reserves. This will be how we test out the tactics that are going to be featured in the show as well. But there is a link below. You can find it on Steam. There is also a graphics pack so that you can get the right badges and stuff like that. But like I say, it's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out, and please check out Mozza himself, because again, he's got a lot going on. Absolutely lovely guy, really worth going and watching his streams as well. He's a lot of fun. So yeah, please do go check him out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take a look at a blog. This time it's from FM Blog, that's footballmanagerblog.org. It's called Defensive Corner Setup. It's a guide, breaking from corners, and basically it is how to set up your defensive corners so that you can not only defend corners slightly better, I would suggest, but also break from them to score goals should the opportunity arise. I'm not going to read it to you, but it goes into great detail in terms of how things are set up, the instructions for the players, the best attributes to have for the players in said positions, beyond, I think, what is suggested by the game. And it was originally written for FM19, but it's still absolutely 100% relevant for FM20. Ever since I read this, I always use it. I'm using it in all of my saves on FM20. It's brilliant. Obviously, when you have the right players, I can't call it flawless, because if it was flawless, then it would be a cheat. But it is really brilliant, and so much better than the standard defensive corner setup. So I would totally recommend it. The link will be in the description below, of course. But yeah, obviously a lot of other stuff on FM Blog too, very worth checking out. But yeah, absolutely brilliant article. Okay, next up we're going to have a look at a YouTube channel. This is Old Lady Plays, and we're here for a specific set of videos. She also does playthroughs and stuff, let's play, playthroughs, whatever you want to call them as well. But we're here for a very specific set of videos, and that is tips for the advanced Football Manager. Now, we're not going to get too much into it by playing the videos through for you, but as you can see, thus far she is up to 18 episodes, and there's a sneaky little 19 in there. But basically, she's been playing Football Manager since it was Championship Manager, and she's also, I believe, as she mentioned in one of the videos, a professionally qualified football coach as well, which obviously brings a certain amount of insight into the game. Basically, these are little short, bite-sized videos, sort of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, that cover very specific items, very specific tips. And, I've been playing Football Manager since it was Championship Manager myself, and I've still gotten a lot out of this series. As you can see, I haven't finished watching them. I haven't caught up yet. I think I'm still on episode 12, as I say, so I've still got a few more to catch up. But sincerely, doesn't matter how well you think you know Football Manager, it's worthwhile having a look. And to be honest with you, even though it says tips for the advanced Football Manager, if you're new to Football Manager, it's also worth looking at too. You will probably get even more out of it, and it'll help you become an advanced Football Manager. So, yeah, totally recommend that. Obviously, link to the channel will be below, as is Twitter as well. So please do go check her out. And it's, like I say, absolutely brilliant videos, really, really good tips, and definitely worth the time. Okay, so the final thing I'm going to bring you before we get into the tactics test is another article. This time it is from passion4fm.com. It's written by Espen. Espen, of course, is the owner-operator of Passion for FM, and he's been doing it since 2012. The title of the article is called Staff Attributes and Non-Playing Tendencies Explained, and basically it's a very in-depth guide to your backroom staff. Covers staff roles, coaching attributes, mental attributes, knowledge attributes, scouting attributes. It's all there. And it's really, really good. I found it very helpful. I've learnt a lot from it. There are certain things you feel like you know, when in reality you don't. And like I say, he goes into great depth. For example, coaching staff attributes and how they influence the coaching in Football Manager. It's things that you might not think about, because quite often, and I've done this, I'm not going to say that everybody does this, you'll choose a coach based on his star rating maybe, or on a specific attribute, and realistically there's a lot more to consider when doing that. So definitely worth checking it out. Obviously, as with everything else, there will be a link in the description below. But yeah, really, really good guide, and definitely worth the time taken to read. And it'll take you a little bit of time because, like I say, it's really quite big. But as I say, ton of information and really, really worthwhile. Like I say, doesn't matter if you've been playing Football Manager forever or if you're only just coming into it, this will be really, really helpful for you. Okay, for the final segment of the show, we're going to test out a couple of sets of tactics, and this week they come from fmscout.com. Brilliant, brilliant website. Got a lot of resources for Football Manager players, from tactics, add-ons, tools, you name it. There's got forums in there. They've got a really good community, so very, very much worth checking out. Please do go give them a look. The first set of tactics we're going to try out is 4231 Call In Sick Invincible tactic by Sicky Caller. I've downloaded these and added them to them, but obviously I will put a link to this page in the description below. It actually gives you information and recommendations with regards to the tactics, which I'm not going to go through here. I will leave that to you should you decide to give them a go yourself. And the second set of tactics is the 4-2-3-1 attack 2.1 top for FM20 by Zion. I've just basically kept the same formation just to make life a little bit easier, obviously, because the idea is I'll use one set in the first half and the second set in the second half. Again, I'll put a link directly to this page because, again, there's a little bit of instructions in there that might be helpful for you should you choose to use them. Okay, so here we are. It is match time. Just to show you, the first set we're going to use is the 4-2-3-1 Call In Sick at Work. The Invincible tactic, no less. Just like to offer a disclaimer here, because obviously this tactic was not specifically made for, Salt Colts Victoria down in this division, shall we say, this low league. For example, it's got ball-playing defenders in it, it's got wing-backs. We don't actually have a decent inverted winger and stuff like that. So results may vary. What I'm saying is, more than anything else, is don't judge the performance of the tactics necessarily on how we do today. Ultimately, if you really want to try them, you need to try them out and obviously use, where you can, the right players in the right roles. At the moment, Salt Colts is basically a team made up of trialists Interestingly enough, I just wanted to show you this guy. Farquhar McRae. I think that is the best name I've ever seen. So we're trying to sign him, but he is currently on trial with us. But yes, Farquhar McRae has won, and he's a real person. Look, he's won the name game. That is the best name ever. So we're going to go into the match with the team that is picked. So yeah, there's the lineup. McMillan in goal, a back four of Mackenzie, McKernan, McRae and Forbes. Central midfield, Lawrence and Berry. Left wing, Makofo. Central attacking midfield, Foy. Right wing, Hume. And up front, it's Mason. And yes, we are against the Saltcote Vix reserves. So I'm going to use the tactics as they are. I've not changed anything. I have not changed, attacking mentality, anything like that. We're just going to use them as they are and just have a look and see how they get on. So, let's demand, passionately, got to win this match, and off we go. Saltcote Vix, of course, in the red with the white shorts, and the reserves are in the all blue. I think we're set on extended highlights. I'm just going to go straight key highlights, because obviously we don't want to be here all day, and I'm probably going to cut out the bits in between, to be fair, just to keep this a little bit shorter. We're not really here to enjoy the game or worry about the result, more a case of just have a look at see how the tactics perform, albeit under these circumstances down here in the Junior FA, the Scottish Junior FA League, West, East, whichever one it was. And off we go. Lyle with the kickoff. Oh, everything's a bit slow, look. Let's change that. And we already have a key highlight. But Bergshoft Hume. Oh, free kick. Foy puts it in. And Berry has a go from a distance, and that's lovely. I am just going to check. I never bothered to look at this, which is probably an important point. But let's have a look at the, not the set piece takers. It's going to take a time to get to that, isn't it? Come on. There we go. Whoops. I want to have a look and just see if there is anything in terms of setups. Now, I think these are pretty much the standard routines. So there isn't included in there free kick routines or anything like that, which is fair enough. So we'll go back to the match. But yes, Saltcote Vix are already 1-0 up from that lovely free kick. Foy finds Berry, and Berry one-times it into the net. Got another highlight. It's at the Saltcote Vix end, not the time. Forbes, Hume. Berry puts the ball forward, and Mason's on it. Brings it back for Hume to score. Scott Hume, assisted by Ali Mason. That is Saltcote Vix 2. Saltcote Vix reserves 0. Lovely ball back, and Hume just hammers it home. So yeah, we're only about 14 minutes in, but already 2-0 up. That's fairly decent. I'm not using any shouts. I'm not changing anything. I'm not doing anything. Corner now for Saltcote. Foy to take it. Oh, onto the air, but the reserves defended quite nicely. Williamson with the loose ball. I think it's the first time I've seen the reserves cross the halfway line. Throw in now, Mackenzie, Makofo, Lawrence. Ball forward for Lawrence, finds Mason. Mason passes back for Makofo, and it goes over. Goal kick. Corner again, Foy to take it. And Mason scores off the corner. That's 3-0 to Saltcote Vix, and we're still only just about 27 minutes in. Look at that. Lovely work. Lawrence, I think, knocked it down for Mason. Okay, another throw-in for Saltcote Vix. At the reserves end, Foy finds Berry. Foy again. Oh, off the post, and Makofo picks up the loose ball. It's 4-0. 36.5 minutes. Sergey Makofo. Lovely work. Foy to Berry. Foy again. Off the post, Makofo picks up the rebound. Very nice work. Yep, perfectly onside. Another free kick, Foy to take it. Makofo's head nods it in. 5-0. Yeah, if this is anything to go by, these are pretty strong tactics. Look at that. Foy to Makofo. Boom. Nobody was marking Makofo, of course, but throw in this time for the reserves. And a ball forward from the reserves. And Lyle gets on the end of it. Oh, but he's tackled by McRae. Long ball back by McRae. Finds Foy. Foy and Mason working well together. Mason. Saved there by the reserves keeper. Got a corner. Foy to take it. Cleared by Mackin. Foy picks it up again. McRae. Well, that's half time. We're 5-0 up. That's pretty solid. We're going to let the assistant handle it. It's not a lot really to tell, but we're just going to quickly go up here to tactics. And we're going to swap over here to the 4-2-3-1 Zion 2.1 top. Indeed, by Zion. And let's start the second half. First highlight of the second half, throwing for the reserves. Ramsey finds Burke. Burke into the middle, cleared by McKernan. Makofo now comes forward. Dispossessed, the reserves now trying to come back. They will, of course, be playing with the tactics we started with, I would expect. Loose ball, McRae picks it up, puts the ball forward, finds Hume. Hume tries to find Mason. Hume tries to find the ball. Mason has a go and it's saved by the reserve team. I'm going to hide those. They don't need to be here. Foy with the corner. Into the middle. Tries to find Mason. Lawrence to Foy. Forbes has a shot, but it's blocked. Lawrence to Foy again. Blocked shot. Reserves now on the counter-attack. Willocks. It's on the edge of the box. He's trying to get past his man. And he forces a corner. Corner from the reserves. Latter to take it. Oh, and it's just been headed over by Sampson, who's also just got a yellow card apparently. Free kick for Foy to take. Straight at the keeper. Reserves keeper kicking the ball out, picked up by McRae. Forbes puts the ball back. Burke heads it away. Williamson for the reserves. He's got players in front of him. He finds Gibb. Oh, misplaced pass, puts Hume on the counter-attack. Oh, and Hume's just been tackled in the box. It's going to be a penalty. Makofo places it nicely. Another throw-in for the reserves. Gibb on the ball. Is dodgy pass. Oh, found Hume. Another dodgy pass. Sampson with the ball over the box. It's too close to the keeper though, and McMillan picks it up. Goal kick. All the way to Foy. Foy tries to get past his man, but he's dispossessed. Reserves with a long ball back, but only as far as the Saltcoats Vic's defence. Another ball over. Hume's on it. Tries it, but it's saved. Corner now. Foy to take it. Into the middle. Oh. Hume picks up the loose ball. McRae has a go. Farquhar McRae. Holt with a goal kick for the reserves. Milcombe with the ball forward. Only as far as McKernan. Another ball over. Mason gets on the end of it. Oh, it's been disallowed. Ali Mason was offside. Corner now for the reserves. Latter to take it. Into the middle. Hume clears it. Willocks. Latter again. Finds Gibb. Blocked. And he just puts it wide. Free kick. Reserves. Only as far as the Saltcoats Vic's defence. McMillan to kick it out. Long kick over the top. All the way to the reserves keeper, who kicks it back again. Reserves now. Berry dispossesses him. Hume. McRae with a ball over. Mason. He's one-on-one. Puts it wide. McRae. Free kick. Ball over for Hume. Tries to cross it. Lawrence has a go, but it's over. Throw in now for the reserves. Burke to Doherty. To Williamson. Dispossessed by Hume. Hume has another go. Keeper saves it. Oh, but Mason gets on the end of the rebound there. That's 7-0. Well, it's full time. Saltcoats Vic 7-0. Very, very strong performance. Yes, it is only against the reserve side, but it is a team that was made up pretty much 90% of trialists. Makofo there getting the man of the match. I did try and sign him, but I'm not sure he wants to join us, to be honest with you. I don't think we can afford him. But anyway, that's by the by. In terms of how those tactics performed, I thought they were pretty good. Certainly we got a lot more goals first half than we did the second half. But again, given the fact that we don't actually have all of the required player roles to make these tactics work properly, like complete wing-backs, for example, or indeed ball-playing defenders. I actually thought that was a pretty good performance. Very much solid, I would suggest. Obviously, we scored more goals whilst using the calling sick to work Invincible tactic first. But like I say, still pretty dominant in the second half with the 4-2-3-1 Zion 2.1. So, both are clearly decent tactics, even at this low level of Scottish football. Okay, that's everything for this episode that we're going to show you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. Tell me what you enjoyed. Tell me if you got experience of some of this stuff and whether it's fantastic or not. And as I say, give us a thumbs up as well. It really helps the channel, really helps me out. And like I say, all of the information regarding all of the creators and websites and everything that have been featured in this episode are below. Please do check them out. Follow them. Subscribe to them. Read the content, read the blogs. It's really, really, really worth it. And should you have something you want to see submitted or have any recommendations for me, please do check out the information below. Obviously, there's a certain amount of information I need to be able to find it and obviously present it properly. So please do follow those instructions. And in the meantime, this has been Football Manager Enhancements. I'm avoiding relegation, and I'll see you on the next episode.